This video is for my family. I love you, but you're all Magadonians, and we need to have a talk, okay? We came here as immigrants. Why? To work, to have a better life, because El Salvador was not it. El Salvador is beautiful now, okay? Thank you, Bukele, the good dictator. But it wasn't back then. And so we came over here and we bounced around a couple different areas. We're kind of spread out around the country right now. We got California, we got Texas, we got New York, but we're here and we're doing so good. Doing so good. We're buying houses, we're going to college, we're making lives, we're establishing businesses. We had the American dream. We successfully made it. And now you're putting a Latinos for Trump flag in front of your house. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? It's like just pulling the ladder up after us. I'm not even gonna talk about that. Okay, it's a very emotional, very pathos oriented argument. Let's talk about logos. Let's talk about statistics. Let's talk about the fact that these mass deportations that Donald Trump is actively doing right now, it's gonna destroy the American economy. Like, that's a fact. Like, I don't need to worry about like his tariffs or his shitty energy policy or anything like that, or his global isolationism. His mass deportations alone are going to kill small businesses. But first, let's just get one thing straight, okay? Donald Trump and Donald Trump's people do not see anyone that is not a generational American as someone worthy to be here, okay? That is why they revoked birthright citizenship, because they do not see anyone that doesn't have generational wealth and establishment here as American. They don't see anyone. They wouldn't see any of us as American. Doesn't matter that I was born here. Doesn't matter that my mom was born here. Doesn't matter. They don't care, because they think that the problem started with my grandma the second that she came over here. It's not gonna go away. It's not a thought that they have that's going to away, because not only do they use the excuse of, oh, well, coming over here illegally in and of itself is a crime, and so you get deported because of that crime. But Donald Trump also thinks that being a murderer is genetic. Like, he thinks that brown people are like genetically more predispositioned to murder. He genuinely thinks that. Mind you, immigrants have a way lower crime rate than native-born Americans. No, Donald Trump is a fan of eugenics. And he goes on about how good Donald Trump Jr. is, and how good Eric is, how good his kids are, how good his uncle is, his MIT professor uncle, how good Elon's mom is. He goes on and on about, but no, immigrants are bad. Immigrants, they're murderers, they're bad, they have bad genes. Don't listen to me. Just listen for yourself.
Allowing people to come through an open border, 13,000 of which were murderers. Many of them murdered far more than one person. And they're now happily living in the United States. You know, now a murderer, I believe this, it's in their genes. And we got a lot of bad genes in our country right now.
Right. So that was Donald Trump establishing that eugenics are a thing. And now this is Tom Homan, the border czar over here, saying that no one is safe. He doesn't care if you've been paying taxes. He doesn't care if you have a degree. He doesn't care if you have served in the military. He wants you to get the fuck out of the country. He doesn't want you here.
If you're in the country illegally, you're on the table, because it's not okay to, violate laws of this country. You got to remember, every time you enter this country illegally, you violated a crime under Title 8 United States Code 1325. It's a crime. So if you're in the country illegally, you got a problem. And that's why I'm hoping those who are in the country illegally who have not been ordered removed by the federal judge should leave.
While you are emphasizing that you go after national security threats, you have said no one's off the table. If you're in the country illegally, you better be looking over your shoulder. You should be afraid and start packing now. Is that what you're doing to get hotel workers out, or people working on farms, that they'll be so scared they just leave?
Look, I think if you're in the country illegally, it's not okay. It's not okay to violate laws of this country. We have millions of people standing in line, taking the test.
This is bullshit. This second half, that's bullshit. Him saying, oh, there's a process to get through. Oh, we have so many people that are waiting online. They're waiting for that's bullshit. The US makes it so fucking hard for you to get your citizenship. They make it so difficult. Even if you've been paying taxes, even if you've been here for years, even if you have a job, if you have a family, if you have a kid, whatever, it's so tedious and extraneous, and it's so expensive to get an immigration lawyer. That's the main thing that's stopping a lot of people, is just how much money it costs to get an immigration lawyer. And then once you have the lawyer and you start the process, it could take like years upon years. That's bullshit. That's just complete bullshit. This idea that like you're able to just like, Joe, just hop online like the rest of them. That's a complete fucking joke. But now the thing that it's very interesting here is she clarified, she asked, are you talking about hotel workers? Are you talking about people on the farms? Are you talking about the undocumented immigrants that make up this labor force? And he said, yes. He said, nothing is off the table. If you are here illegally, get out. And so now let's talk about those workers. Let's talk about what that impact would be if he does successfully take all of these workers out, either by deporting them or by scaring them so much that they deport themselves. Let's talk about small businesses, okay? Because these corporations, they're gonna be fine. Corporations are gonna be perfectly fine and dandy. I wanna talk about the everyday average American that's going to be suffering as a result of these deportations. Small businesses make up 99.9% of all US businesses. Let's look at the fact that California, Texas, Florida, and New York have the most small businesses. Is that because of population? Yes. Is there also maybe some overlap with the fact that they have a significant portion of immigrants? Maybe. Let's look at this news release from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, okay? Public information, all public information. And if we go down here to the occupation section, this is what I want to worry about, okay? These occupations specifically. Service occupations, natural resources, construction and maintenance, production, transportation, and material moving occupations. Foreign-born workers were more likely than native-born workers to work in all of these industries. They were less likely than native-born workers to work in management, professional, and related occupations, as well as sales and office occupations. I just want to emphasize here, immigrants are not taking your jobs. I think there's a significant portion of moms that voted for Trump because of their sons, because my son is having such a hard time getting a job, because it's my son is vaping in the basement and isn't working, and my daughter's at college and she's doing fine, but my son is just he's just struggling. So like there's a significant portion of the population that is of the belief that the reason why their child cannot get a job is because some immigrant out there stole it. And so I just want to say to all of those people, maybe it's time to look within yourself, and maybe it's time to do some internal reflection on your son that's vaping and streaming on... I'm making generalizations that's not backed up by evidence right now, so don't listen to me. Of the employed men, 22.7% of the foreign-born worked in the occupational field of national resources, construction, and maintenance. That's like 1 in 5 men is likely to be a plumber, essentially, is what that's saying. 1 in 5 foreign-born men. And then 30% of foreign-born women were likely to be in service occupations. 1 in 3 foreign-born women is likely to be a house cleaner, basically, is what that's saying. So, listen, the stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason. That reason doesn't have anything to do with our intelligence, doesn't have anything to do with like cultural disparity or some type of genealogy where like immigrants are just inherently dumber than like Americans, and so that's why we get stuck doing these jobs. It has everything to do with the fact that, number one, these labor fields are like completely demonized in American society. Like, walk into a kindergarten classroom, how many kids are going to tell you that they want to be a plumber or an electrician or a construction worker or a garbage man? These aren't like flashy jobs that kids want to be. They want to be doctors, they want to be CEOs, they want to be lawyers, they want to be real estate agents or teachers or whatever. Like, they don't want to be these workers. And you could actually say that part of that is because they think that it's beneath them because they're occupied by all of these immigrants. And that's a cultural American thing, okay? That has nothing to do with the immigrants that are just coming up here and taking advantage of the gap that's in the field. The reason why it's majority Hispanic, I'm gonna say this, is because Hispanics come here physically, like they have to physically walk over here, like physically like come up here from the south. If you're flying in from India or China, like you're not rowing yourself over here. You're flying on a plane. Like you have to have the money to come over here, to get on a plane, to get some type of visa or whatever, to get over here. So just like the processes by which we get here, it lends itself to just like more like Chinese immigrants and like Indian immigrants that have the money to come over here, that they're going to be in a privileged position where they can have the money to go to college and become lawyers and doctors and apply to Harvard in such high amounts that we have to overturn affirmative action, apparently. Back to statistics. Yay! Okay, let's look at the statistics of US businesses. There's a couple data sets here, just like the columns are different, all the data is the same. I looked at this one because this one has the sectors, and the sectors are these thingies. So like service, maintenance, natural resources, construction, whatever, those are the sectors. Let's just talk through what we have here, okay? This stands for like North American industry classification, whatever. This is the sector. I kind of really hate the fact that agriculture, forestry, fishing, and hunting gets grouped in together, because agriculture has a really high percentage of immigrant like workers, but forestry and fishing do not. So I had to completely like null all of these. But basically, I deleted not only all of the rows that were sectors that weren't predominantly or primarily being worked in by immigrants, but also all of the businesses that were larger than 500 employees. So any business that was large, I don't care about the corporations, I just want to look at the small businesses. So now that leaves me with this, okay? We have mining, quarry, utilities, construction, manufacturing, wholesale trade, retail trade, transportation and warehousing, accommodations and food services, and other services. And then here is the amount of employment that we have. That's how many total workers we have. Not undocumented, not just foreign born, total. That is how many total workers we have. And this equals about 33 million people. So of the 59 million workers that make up half of the workforce with small businesses, right? 33 million of those, right? That's a little over half. Half of those are from these industries, okay? Now from these industries, if we come over here and look at Statista, we can see the percentage of undocumented workers in each of these industries. So I just went in and plugged these percentages. I'm even helping you, MAGA, okay? I'm helping you. Wholesale trade and retail trade, this was a duplicate, so I only counted it once. I didn't even combine the two to count it. I only counted it once, and I counted it with a smaller number, okay? And then I did the same thing for utilities and transportation over here. This is 2 million. I only counted the 100,000 one. I didn't even count the 2 million. And that gives us 42.8. That's crazy. Wow. Jesus Christ. Crazy stuff. That gives you about 14 million Americans that are subject to deportation. Just in these industries alone. There's other industries that I literally just deleted. Like just these industries alone. Utilities, like these are people that are like, these are your janitors. These are your sanitation workers. Like these are the people that are cleaning the roads and like managing your sewage system. Like construction, these people are building your houses. We are in a housing crisis in America. How are you going to fix a housing crisis when you're not building houses? Manufacturing, hello? You want to be the manufacturing hub. Donald Trump talks all the time about manufacturing. No, we're deporting almost 300,000 manufacturing workers. Almost 300,000. These are like vendors for like businesses. Like these are the people that are coming in to like fix the soda machine spray guns at restaurants, or like coming in to like do like the liquor sales at some time. You guys don't realize what impact this is gonna have on your supply chain. Retail trade, like these are the people that are like doing fucking inventory and like managing shipments at the mall and stuff like that. Like transportation and warehousing. How are you getting your Amazon packages? Who's indexing that? Who's driving the truck? Who's driving all of these trucks? A lot of them are immigrants. Accommodation and food services, don't even fucking get me started. Do you know how many restaurants that I've worked at specifically that would just get shut down like this if you were to deport all of the undocumented immigrants? Like they would have literally no kitchen. They would have no kitchen. No, we don't care. We don't care. We don't care. We're deporting over 500,000 of them. Over 500,000. These are people. These are people that are just living their lives, that are just trying to make a living. These people probably have family, which is another thing that like no one wants to talk about. These people are going to get deported when they don't deserve it. It's sad that they're getting their opportunities ripped away from them when they haven't necessarily done anything wrong. It's sad that we don't have a better avenue for these people to obtain citizenship or for these people to integrate better into society. It's sad that we are demonizing these people in the industries that we work with. It's sad that we're demonizing these people and the industries that they work in and making it so that no American wants to work in those industries because they think that it's dirty and smelly. It's sad. It's sad, and it's too late now. And he's in office, and he's going to do it. It's being done. The deportations are happening. ICE was in my neighborhood earlier today, and my family voted for that, and they didn't even realize it because they believed him. They believed him when he said that it was only going to be the violent criminals. They believed him when he said that he wasn't going to go after anyone who had a life here. They believed him when he said that he was going to give citizenship to anyone with a 4-year degree. They believed him. And he lied to them, and that's sad.